Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about one more exponent rule, okay? It's very helpful when you get to geometry and algebra too. So we kind of teach it here, so it's intro to you. It's kind of fun. Not all of you will find it fun, but it's interesting, okay? So we have what's called rational exponents. Now remember the word rational, all that means is it's a fraction. And I know some of you hate fractions, but guess what? You get to get rid of the fraction, okay? So what happens here is if we have a fraction, so if we have a base with a fraction answer, okay, the top becomes our exponent and our bottom becomes the radical. So remember when you have like square roots, okay, there's a baby invisible 2 here that we never write, okay, so a square root. But we also have third roots and fourth roots. Actually, the third root is called a cube root, but then fourth roots and fifth roots and sixth roots and all of this kind of stuff, okay? And what's nice is we have square roots, cube roots, fourth roots, fifth roots, sixth roots, etc. to cancel out exponents, right? So if you want to undo having an exponent, you have to be able to do that. Just like we can undo subtraction with addition, we can undo multiplication with division. But I digress. Okay, so what's going to happen is if we have x to some 2/3, right? This becomes the exponent. And this becomes the radical part, okay? And what I mean by that is this would now become the cube root of x squared, okay? And we would just leave it like that for now, okay? We're gonna learn how to simplify things tomorrow, okay? So let's look at this one. So again, this becomes the exponent, the top part, and this becomes the radical. So this would now be the cube root of x to the 1. We don't have to write the 1 in this case, but we can. Okay, and we want to make sure that the 3 is inside the little scoop here, okay? Because otherwise it could be 3 square roots of x, and we don't want that, okay? So make sure it's not written like 3 square roots of x. We want to make sure it's a little bit smaller and it's inside the scoop so we can clearly tell it's a radical. It's part of the radical, okay? We can do the same thing with number bases. So again, exponent on top, radical on the bottom. Okay, so this would be the square root of 3 cubed. We could also write this as just the square root of 3 cubed. Okay, we don't technically have to write the 2 because we don't have to for square roots. It's just assume there's a 2 there. Okay, either would be acceptable. Okay, now again, this one, why don't you go ahead and try this one? So this would be the cube root of 125, or 125 to the 1. Again, either would be acceptable. Okay, tomorrow we're going to learn how to simplify this, okay, into something a little bit nicer. All right. I think that's all for today. Oh, no, there's a couple more. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this one. So this would be the cube root of 216 squared. Okay. Now this one, okay, and I think, if we go back to this one, if you know right off the top of your head, if you type in the calculator the cube root of 125, or if you type in 125 to the 1/3, you will get that it equals 5. So today, why don't you just type it in your calculator, okay? See what you get out, so you can practice using your calculator on that, okay? So go ahead and type this into your calculator and see what you would get out. And the cube root of 216, I believe, is 6, because 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. So if we typed this whole thing into your calculator, you would get 36 out. And I'll explain how I got the 6 tomorrow, okay? So go ahead, why don't you type this in your calculator, okay, and see what you get. If I just had to rewrite this in radical form, it would be the 4th root of 81 plus the 3rd root of 8. Okay. And then the 4th root of 81 would be 3 plus 2, so this would equal 5. Okay. All right, I hope this video finds you well. I believe, yep, tomorrow is simplifying, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.